Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Thank you for attending this evening's inaugural meeting, recognizing the commencement of the 2018 to 2022 term of the Oakville Town Council. My name's Vicki Titanic, and as the town clerk, I will be acting as the Master of Ceremonies for the initial portion of this evening's meeting. And at this time, I would ask everyone to stand for the processional to welcome the members of the Town Council and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, which will be led by Stephanie Hotchkiss.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, kad embrasse porter la paix, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you to Piper Andrew Collins and Stephanie Hotchkiss. With us this evening, we have Reverend Jeff Ward of the Oakville's Interfaith Council. You may be seated. Reverend Jeff Ward will be here to give the invocation.
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me this evening on behalf of the Interfaith Council. Halton, as we know it today, is rich in history and modern traditions of many First Nations and the Métis. From the Anishinaabe to the Attawandaron to the Haudenosaunee and the Métis. These lands surrounding the Great Lakes are steeped in Indigenous history. As we gather today on these treaty lands, we have the responsibility to honor and respect the four directions: land, waters, plants, animals, ancestors that walked before us, and all the wonderful elements of creation that exist. We would like to acknowledge and thank the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation for for sharing their traditional territory with us. My name is Jeff Ward, and I am the priest and rector of St. Cuthbert's Anglican Church in Southeast Oakville, Ward 3. I am pleased and privileged to be here also as a representative of and in community with my friends and fellow faith leaders of the Interfaith Council. I am new to St. Cuthbert's, but I have lived and served in Oakville for more than 30 years. As we gather this evening to discuss the issues and opportunities that present themselves to our town at this time, let us remember that Oakville is like a family. The people of Oakville live together in relationship and share resources. We know from our experiences in families that if any member of a family is self-serving, the whole family suffers. If, however, every member of the family supports and cares for the other family members and cooperates for the good of the whole, everyone benefits. It is like that with our town family. If the various constituencies that make up our town family, wards, neighborhoods, sectors, cultural groups, faith groups, businesses, residents associations, and our representatives seek only their own self-interests, our whole town suffers. But if all groups work together to share resources and to uplift each other, all Oakvillians benefit. We are grateful to the citizens here who have sacrificed so much to represent the people of Oakville on this council and regional council. And we wish them, as members of the Interfaith Council and in this community, to know that we are here to support them and work with them as they serve the people in our town to the best of their abilities, with transparency, goodwill, and integrity. So let us give thanks this night that many who once were not working together have discovered strength and benefit in partnership with each other, that we are growing to know about, more effectively utilize the assets that exist in our community by ensuring that every voice is heard and respected. That we have incredible people working in our town, paid and volunteer, who contribute their time, talents, and wisdom to our community to benefit everyone. And that we enjoy beautiful surroundings in this wonderful town and an abundance of natural resources for all to share and care for. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Ward. We have a few greetings to pass along to you this evening. Our local federal member of Parliament, MP Pam Demoff, is unable to attend this evening as she is in Ottawa, but she certainly sends her good wishes to you. Our local federal member of Parliament, MP John Oliver, is also in Ottawa this evening, but has passed along the following words of encouragement. Congratulations. Tonight you have been sworn in as representatives of our community, and tonight you begin the next 4 years as a part of the democratic process. In Canada, we are fortunate to be a representative democracy. Our open democratic process is to be treasured. You are to be commended for the hard work that brought you here this special evening and this special place tonight. I share in your excitement and that of your families and very much look forward to working with all of you. On behalf of the Government of Canada and the House of Commons, please accept my best wishes for your success and the successes to come. So we thank MP John Oliver for those kind words. Also with us this evening, May Scatliff is here to bring greetings on behalf of MPP Stephen Crawford. Okay.
Thank you for inviting Mr. Crawford to join you at this very special inauguration of the 2018-2022 Oakville Town Council. Unfortunately, Mr. Crawford could not be here as he is being detained at Queen's Park this evening. Since June, Mr. Crawford has had the pleasure of working with many councillors and Mayor Burton and is looking forward to working with the newly elected councillors over the next 4 years. We're so fortunate here in Oakville as we've always had a strong and active council of dedicated men and women who have served diligently to protect our natural environment, support social and cultural programs and services. This commitment to public service greatly contributes to the comfortable quality of life that we enjoy here in Oakville. Mr. Crawford would like to congratulate all of you as we, the team at Mr. Crawford's office and Mr. Crawford, are looking forward to creating strong relationships and working together as a team as we go into the holiday season and a new year. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you for those greetings. MPP Effie Triantafilopoulos is here with us tonight to bring greetings on behalf of the provincial government.
Thank you very much, Clerk. You said my name beautifully. Good evening, everyone. Justice Harris, Your Worship the Mayor, Reverend Ward, members of council, and ladies and gentlemen. I am very pleased to bring greetings and congratulations from Premier Doug Ford, the Ontario government, and the Ontario legislature to the newly elected members of the Council of the Town of Oakville. Representing Oakville in the legislature is something I'm very proud of. The Community That Makes Sense magazine named the best place to live in Canada. And there are very good reasons why Oakville won this distinction. Oakville has a good job market. It's part of the GTA, but it still feels more like a small town. It's a safe community with good transit and roads, good schools, and health services. And in Money Sense's survey, it scored high on other measures as well. First place as the best city for new Canadians. Third in the best city to retire. And fifth as the best city to raise a family. What this shows is that Oakville is a community that welcomes everyone, a community that is so many proud to call home. And Oakville would never have achieved this ranking without the hard work and smart policies of its past mayors and councillors. And I know the incoming council will work to maintain this success. As one of Oakville's 2 members of provincial parliament, along with my colleague Stephen Crawford, I am committed to working with the mayor and council and all of the people of Oakville so that the town continues to be a great place to live. The Premier and our government believe that communities like Oakville should have more of a say over their own growth, and we respect the local decisions of municipalities. Glen Abbey is a perfect example of this. My colleague, Mr. Crawford, and I both truly hope this jewel can be saved for future generations. We want our communities to be strong and make decisions based on their values. That's why when the federal government legalized cannabis, we gave municipalities the power to decide whether or not they want cannabis stores in their communities. And I think that Oakville's values are ones that we should look to across the province. We want to preserve our green spaces as part of preserving communities and quality of life. We will hold the line on taxes and spending in the face of a $15 billion deficit, but while planning our budget responsibly. This means putting discipline back into the administration of government. All of this we will do while providing the services people want and need. Overall, our government wants to work with the municipalities, and I will work hard to ensure that the province meets the needs of people in Oakville. So congratulations to the mayor and to the new council. I know you are dedicated to the welfare of the people of Oakville, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you for that. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2018-2022 members of Oakville Council, and I would ask the members stand as their names are read and then remain standing. Mayor Rob Burton. Ward 1, Town and Regional Councillor Sean O'Mara. Ward 1, Town Councillor Beth Robertson. Ward 2, Town and Regional Councillor Kathy Duddick. Ward 2, Town Councillor Ray Chisholm. Ward 3, Town and Regional Councillor Dave Giddings. Ward 3, Town Councillor Janet Haslett-Thiel. Ward 4, Town and Regional Councillor Alan Elgar. Ward 4, Town Councillor Peter Longo. Ward 5, Town and Regional Councillor Jeff Knoll. Ward 5, Town Councillor Mark Grant. Ward 6, Town and Regional Councillor Tom Adams. Ward 6, Town Councillor Natalia Lischina. Ward 7, Town and Regional Councillor Pavan Parmar. Ward 7, Town Councillor Jasvinder Sandhu. I would now call upon the Honourable Mr. Justice David Harris to administer the declarations of office to the Mayor and members of Council. Justice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to administer the declaration of office in accordance with Section 232 of the Municipal Act 2001. Mayor Burton, having been elected to the office of mayor in the town of Oakville, do you solemnly promise and declare that 1, you will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of your knowledge and ability? 2, that you have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner? 3, you will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. 4, you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And do you make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath? Mayor Burton, do you so declare?
I so declare.
Members of Oakville Town Council, having been elected to the office of Town Councillor or Town and Regional Councillor in the town of Oakville, do you solemnly promise and declare that 1, you will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of your knowledge and ability? 2, you have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner? 3, you will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. 4, you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And do you make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath? I will now ask all members individually to declare the declaration of office. From Ward 1, Councillor Sean O'Meara, do you so declare?
I do, Honor.
Councillor Beth Robertson, do you so declare? From Ward 2, Councillor Kathy Duddick, do you so declare?
I so declare.
Councillor Ray Chisholm, do you so declare?
I so declare.
Ward 3, Councillor Dave Giddings, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Councillor Janet Haslett-Thiel, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
From Ward 4, Councillor Alan Elgar, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Councillor Peter Longo, do you so declare?
I so declare.
From Ward 5, Councillor Jeff Knoll, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Councillor Mark Grant, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Ward 6, Councillor Tom Adams, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Councillor Natalia Lischina, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Ward 7, Councillor Pavan Parmar, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
And Councillor Jasvinder Sandhu, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
It is my pleasure to confirm that all members of council have now taken the declaration of office declared before me at the town of Oakville this 3rd day of December 2018. To all members of council, please accept my best wishes as you collectively govern the town of Oakville over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mayor Burton, it is now my pleasure to call upon you to give the inaugural address and upon its conclusion to assume your responsibilities as the Chair of Council to address the business portion of the meeting.
Thank you. Welcome everybody to the inauguration of the 127th Council of the Town of Oakville. I want to ask you to join me in a moment of reflection to honor former Mayor Harry Barrett, who passed away Friday. Many of us said farewell to him earlier today at a service held at St. John's United Church. Harry was able to capture what many of us feel about Oakville in one phrase. Oakville is a city that calls itself a town and acts like a village. Harry loved to say that, and I hope that if we can keep that expression alive, we will keep Harry alive among us. His leadership and passion for our community has always inspired me and many others. We owe a great debt to him for championing heritage and waterfront protection. The Harry F. Barrett Waterfront Park system ensures his memory will live on forever. We can see both renewal and continuity in the results of our recent municipal elections. Here at the Town Council, we welcome 4 new members: Ward 1 Town Councillor Beth Robertson, Ward 3 Town Councillor Janet Haslett-Deal, and Ward 7 Councillor Jasvinder Sandhu, and Ward 7 Town and Regional Councillor Pavan Parmer. They bring new eyes and new perspectives to the table. They're joining returning Town Councillors Ray Chisholm from Ward 2, Peter Longo from Ward 4, Mark Grant from Ward 5, Natalia Lischina from Ward 6, and Town and Regional Councillors Sean O'Meara from 1, Kathy Duddick from 2, Dave Giddings from 3, Alan Elgar from Ward 4, and Jeff Knoll from 5, and Tom Adams from Ward 6. Our other council, the Halton Region Council, will have 8 of 24 members who are new, and that's a fairly similar, not the same, but a fairly similar ratio of renewal and continuity as we have here. And so it appears to me that the direction of our split-level local government will continue in the general direction of the livable Oakville and the sustainable Halton official plans, as we call the 2 intertwined official plans that guide our growth in this community. We review our strategic plan and direction every year to be sure we stay on course. A Scottish philosopher, Thomas Carlyle, once said, "Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further." And we can now see further than we could when we started to create the Livable Oakville Plan 12 years ago. Unfortunately, some of what we can see now poses possible threats to the Oakville way of life. I look forward optimistically to our ability to work together to keep moving forward, because we have before. In my time as mayor, we've solved at least 10 great challenges. We've slowed growth to half the rate it was 12 years ago. We doubled our community facilities. We held total property tax increases to inflation or less for 10 years, even though we added so much to our facilities. Our finances are the healthiest in Ontario. We've increased our green space and our tree canopy. We've kept the lowest crime rate among Ontario's Big 12 police services. We defeated a power plant proposed too close to homes and schools. And we have held off and will continue to oppose a bid by ClubLink to destroy our most significant cultural heritage landscape and our Livable Oakville Plan's urban structure. We remain Ontario's best place to raise a family. Yes, thank you. And we've risen within the Money Sense rankings from 30th to first place to become Canada's best place to live and to be Canada's best place for newcomers. We can stay a leader in livability if we stay committed to 5 principles. 1, first, controlling growth to only what fits our environment and our economics. Second, protecting our cultural and natural heritage resources and green spaces. Third, providing the high-quality facilities and services our residents need and want. Fourth, keeping our finances strong and healthy. And fifth, engaging and expanding mutual understanding with our provincial masters. I believe these 5 principles of livability will allow us to continue to successfully meet the challenges we face as we move forward. Together, we will protect our community's vision of itself as reflected in our Livable Oakville official plan and its associated strategic plan. And that includes defending our official plan and our decision to refuse the development application on the Glen Abbey Golf Course. Fortunately, Oakville's new MPP, Stephen Crawford, took the following position in his election in June, and I quote, "With pleasure, the people of Oakville have rallied together against the potential development of the Glen Abbey Golf Course, and I personally stand with them," he said. "I vow," he said, "to work tirelessly with the Save Glen Abbey Grassroots Community Coalition and to do everything in my power to ensure that this important part of Oakville's cultural heritage is preserved for its citizens and future generations." MPP Crawford also promised, and this is really important, and MPP Triantafilopoulos repeated it tonight, and I'm very grateful, Effie, for your repetition of this. What MPP Crawford said was, after the June 7th election, an Ontario PC government's approach will be to respect the local decisions of municipalities. We are counting on you two to deliver on this promise. We really believe that what we have going for us in Oakville is based on these principles of local decision making, and we're thrilled that you subscribe to the same principles. We know, yes, thank you. We know we have 6 other significant work objectives before us. First, relief of congestion with major road widenings and the Wycroft Bridge. Second, reconstruction of Lakeshore Road and its streetscape in downtown Oakville to reinvigorate our downtown. Third, completion of needed recreational facilities in the south and north of Oakville. And fourth, development of an innovation hub in our downtown and the Dr. Joseph Dablé Life Sciences High-Tech Business Park in North Oakville beside the new Oakville Trafalgar Memorial Hospital. And here again, I call on our new MPPs to help show that we can be open for business because the province's growth plan is actually holding up this project. And this is a project that is 60% the size of the Amazon second headquarters that everybody wanted. And this project has already chosen us, and it's ready to go. We don't have to compete to get it. We just sort of have to get out of its way and really be open for business. Fifth, thank you. Fifth, using our community safety and well-being plan to engage the province to fulfill its direct constitutional responsibility for poverty in our community and encouraging local businesses to become living wage employers. And sixth, the legalization of marijuana and private retail, and whether we will have private retail stores in our town. In April, there will be private marijuana retail stores in Ontario. The province has given all new councils an opportunity and a deadline of January 22nd to opt out of having private retail stores. Our new council will wait until our meeting on January 14th to decide if we opt out of having private storefronts in our community. Oakville values public consultation, and this way we can maximize the opportunity for public consultation starting tonight. Before our next meeting, December 17th, Council and the public will have a staff report with the very latest developments from the province's ongoing and evolving rollout of the cannabis market. This will give time over the holidays for everyone to consider the information. And you can delegate at the January 14th council meeting or connect with your council members. And let me ask you to copy me too. Now, an even more important public consultation is already underway. The Ontario government has circulated a public consultation document called, quote, Increasing Housing Supply in Ontario. We in the public are asked to let them know by January 25th, 2019, how they can get a big increase in the speed and the number of houses being built. They want the public's input on 4 things. First, how to make housing approvals faster. Second, how to cut development charges that builders pay toward the costs of infrastructure to make housing cheaper to build, presumably to motivate builders to build more. And third, how to add new housing in our stable, established neighborhoods. And fourth, how to get new housing opportunities in our heritage districts, areas, and properties. These 4 points go right to the heart of the Oakville way of life and our small town values and everything we have worked so hard at for the last 12 years. So, MPP Triantafilopoulos, you now understand why I'm so thrilled to hear the renewal of the pledge to respect local decisions. Because I believe that the average person in Oakville thinks that we grow fast enough already. Thank you very much. In the rental market, the government has already announced it will increase the supply of rental housing by removing rent controls on new rental housing to let rents go higher, and that is to incentivize the construction of more rental units. So I call on the residents of Oakville to clearly tell our MPPs how fast they want growth to be in Oakville, to tell our MPPs clearly how much of the cost of growth we want to pay on our property taxes. Already, almost 10% of our property taxes goes to subsidize builders. We also need to be clear about how much we value our heritage areas and our stable, established neighborhoods. The nub, the essence of this property tax versus development charge dilemma is that any dollar we can't collect from builders from development charges winds up on our property taxes. And that means you're helping to buy people houses. And I'm pretty sure that's not what you came here for. So we need to be clear on what we want our town's future to look like for our children, their children, and beyond. So share your thoughts, residents of Oakville, with your MPPs and copy me and your members of council. And here's a suggestion for you to make, and I will make it now to MPP Triantafilopoulos. How about the government remove the HST from housing instead of shifting more of the costs of development of new housing onto existing property taxpayers? Development charges go only to needed growth infrastructure. HST goes to general provincial revenues. I'm pleased that we have initiated regular meetings with MPP Crawford and his colleague who represents part of North Oakville, MPP Triantafilopoulos. The first thing we've talked about is the government's consultation on housing. So we need the rest of Oakville to add your voices. Excuse me. My colleagues and I are 100% committed to serving all of our community. I know that we will never shy away from our challenges, and there will always be obstacles, twists and turns, and difficult situations to overcome. But we must be prepared to tackle what may come. Winston Churchill once said, this is very inspirational, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. I am here to stand up for our town, its beliefs, and its values. I'm also here to listen. I hope to engage and expand what we know and can learn. With your engagement, I'm confident Council and I can continue to help advance our community's shared goals. Oakville's identity is shaped by the spirit of our residents and our thriving industries and by our relationship and connection to the land, just as it was with the First Nations who preceded us. Oakville's history and traditions, including those of the Mississaugas of the Credit, part of the Anishinaabe Nation, point us to the path that we follow to respect the land. And we should credit Harry Barrett for the start he gave us on the path we follow. If we continue to cherish our heritage, it will help us keep moving forward as we extend the path for those who follow. Harry's spirit lives on in the livable Oakville plan, of which he was so very proud. Let us resolve to keep making Harry proud. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, everybody. Council, I now have to ask for any declarations of pecuniary interest. And Madam Clerk, I see none. This is a lovely anomaly. The new council gets to confirm the minutes of a previous council meeting, November 5th. And for that purpose, as well as the confidential minutes of the closed session on that date. And I have a motion from Councillor Lishina, seconded by Councillor Adams. And if there are no corrections, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? And the minutes are confirmed. We have no public presentations, and we have no standing committee reports. Those will follow as the term ensues. And you have a consent item before you, which is the 2019 Council and Committee meeting schedule. And the recommendation is that you approve it. And I will look for a mover and seconder. Councillor O'Meara and Councillor Robertson, thank you. All those in favor? And that is approved. Now, Council, if you'll turn your attention to the memo that's been provided you about item number 2, that council appointments to various boards and committees for 2018 to 2022, dated November 5th from Mayor Burton, Clause 6B be revised as follows: that the appointments of members of council to Conservation Halton and Credit Valley Conservation, or until their successors are appointed, be approved as follows, and the names be submitted to the Region of Halton for confirmation of appointment. The only change is the Credit Valley Conservation, that it become Councillor Adams. And I will look for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Giddings and Councillor Longo, all in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. We have no confidential discussion items. We have no committee minutes, and you've had your information items circulated electronically. I understand that Councillor O'Meara has some new business.
I do, Your Worship. Thank you. Just and not to interlude on the specialness of this initial council meeting, but going on its 8th year now, we have some residents in in Lakeshore Woods area on Great Lakes, the Wells family, who are entering into their 8th year of collecting toys for the Salvation Army. And next Sunday between 8 and 12 noon at 281 Great Lakes Boulevard, they will be amassing a pile of unwrapped toys to bring to the Salvation Army. So if anyone has something, or while they're shopping for a family member can pick something up, I know that they'd appreciate it, and we'd appreciate it, and the Salvation Army would appreciate it. So thank you very much, Your Worship, for allowing me to put that plug in for them.
The whole town benefits from knowing about it, and so will the Salvation Army, so thank you for that. I believe that we can now, well, I should never assume that there's no request for report. Is there any request for reports? Okay. Then in that case, we have reached consideration and reading of the bylaws, and I'd like 2 new councillors to move that. Can I recommend that perhaps Councillor Haslett-Thiel and perhaps Councillor Palmer? This is for the bylaws as listed in the agenda, including the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of a meeting of council. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, that completes our work, that completes our agenda and thus our work. And it has been a pleasure working with you tonight and being sworn in with you. And I thank you very much for your time and attention. And I know it's going to be great working with you. And it's my pleasure now to adjourn the meeting.